Samantha Meredith. I started working for Enterprise as a management trainee. I'm now a talent acquisition specialist for the London and the South East Group.
My name's Naj Khan. I started on the graduate training programme. I now assume the role of remarketing sales manager, and my department is responsible for selling the cars at the end of the rental life.
I'm Thomas Sheeran. I joined Enterprise Rent-A-Car as a management trainee. I'm now the assistant manager at Brentford.
I'm Hannah Denman and I'm on the intern placement programme for 1 year at Enterprise.
Making a great first impression is extremely important during the interview process, and you don't get a second chance to make a great first impression.
Make great eye contact with the person that's conducting the interview. Being
late for an interview is definitely not the impression that you want to make, so try and be there 15 minutes early.
Be enthusiastic.
Be yourself.
And make sure you speak with clarity.
It's also important to think about your appearance in an interview. I've had people turn up with shirts untucked or wearing trainers, and it's not really the professional image that we're looking for.
Taking into account the company dress code.
And make sure that you dress to impress.
Another way to make a good first impression is positive body language.
Act like you really want to be there.
Don't slouch in your seat if you're going through an interview.
In order to be successful during a group assessment, it's good to take a sort of a leadership stance.
We're looking for leaders, so make sure you demonstrate your leadership ability.
Try and balance the argument against all people there, so don't be too overpowering.
We typically have some candidates that think the most important thing to do is to speak the loudest and to speak for the most amount of time, and sometimes that doesn't really show perhaps the leadership skills or the team working skills that we're looking for. Make sure that when you speak, you add value to the group task, and also try and invite some quieter members of the team into that discussion to ensure that they're given a chance to participate as well.
Prepare yourself for the assessment, know the competencies of the business and make sure you show them.
I'd also encourage you to keep an eye on time so that you can direct the team and make sure that you're going to complete the task within the time frame given.
But the most important thing is to remember it's a group assessment. You're not competing against each other.
When giving a really good presentation, I think one of the most important aspects is to make sure that your content is relevant to the topic that you're supposed to be speaking about.
Prepare yourself, make sure you know what you're talking about, there's some structure to the presentation.
If you're using PowerPoint, make sure that you don't overload the slide with too many words, and make sure that you infiltrate some images.
Engage with the audience.
Try and get audience participation involved. It makes the presentation a lot smoother and a lot easier, so good Q&A.
Really make a conscious effort to slow down your speech in a presentation. A lot of people have a tendency to get nervous and therefore their speech quickens.
Be yourself and be confident.
And make good eye contact.
It's really important that you answer the question that's posed and not the question that you think you've been asked because you prepared the answer in advance.
Prepare yourself for the interview.
Always try and think of previous experiences.
Really good interview answers that I've heard are people that really use a variety of different examples. So they'll draw from their academic experiences, their work experience, also extracurricular activities that they take part in. Also, another really good way to make sure that you're going to be successful in an interview is to make sure that you have 3 quality questions that you can pose your interviewer at the end of an interview. I really think that that shows your enthusiasm for the position and shows that you're really interested in obtaining that role.
Before attending an interview or an assessment,
you should do your research, make sure you know the business.
The more that you prepare for an interview or an assessment, the easier that you will find the process.
You can do this through speaking to people from the business personally. I did so at my careers fair at university.
If you can, try and pop into the local branch to see how things work.
Study the company website, the company history.
Just give yourself a real sort of insight to what happens at the company you're applying for.
Also, get a handle of what the key competencies they are looking for.
Try to remember that not everybody's always successful through an interview or an assessment centre, and don't get disheartened by that. Ask for feedback from the recruitment team. Also do a bit of self-reflection, try to understand where perhaps you think you might have gone wrong. And before you attend these assessment centres and interviews, practice with a family friend or even in front of the mirror, just to make sure that you're building a little bit of confidence for yourself. Also remember that your careers centres will ask companies to come onto campus to provide skill sessions for you. I often come in to do a presentation on how to do really well in an interview or some skills on assessment centres. The more of those that you can attend, the more practice that you will be able to put in, and hopefully you'll be successful next time. Here at Enterprise, we're always looking to hire some top talent, so take on board some of the interview tips that you've heard today.
If anyone's got an interview or assessment day coming up,
Good luck.
prepare yourself.
But then just relax and enjoy the day.